Art is an attempt to bring order out of chaos. From a shuffle pack, we take out a few cards. Thirteen cards. The spades in a random order. We place them in the spectator's hand. And now, from chaos, we create order. But the remaining cards are still mixed. All of them. If I snap my fingers, they are now in order. Every single one. Bonsoir, hello! Let me show you how chaos works. So you have two groups of cards, the spades and the other cards. The spades, you have more than 13 spades. Some of those cards have a special sticky glue on the back, and some of those cards have a special coating that is in between sticky and rough and smooth. With those two principles, you will be able to show some cards or hide some cards depending the way you handle the cards. And you will be able to show an in-order sequence or a mixed sequence. For the remaining cards, we printed half cards on some of them, not all, on some of them. So if you spread that way, you see take in order and spread. That way you have a mixed deck. But because we had some normal card, we use the Svengali principle to be able to flash them as you dribble just before doing the spread. And with all those principles mixed, you can perform chaos. Hey, so please do not touch your card yet. Just watch what's going on first. The spades you have here, you have 17 spades. That's the order they are. And some of them, because you have 17, are duplicates. You can see a 6 here and a 6 here, a 9 and a 9, so some of them. This sequence has been specially thought to be able to show spades in order or spades mixed just by hiding 4 of those cards. So if I hide 4 of those cards, I can show you spades in order, and if I hide 4 other cards, I can show you those spades mixed. So let me show you how it looks when it's in order. If I hide the queen here, the 9 there, the 3 and the 6 there, you have here the result. So the queen is hidden behind the ace, and you can see, people will see ace, 2, 3, 4, 9 hidden, 5, 6, 7, hidden 3, 8, 9, 10, hidden 6, Jack, Queen, and King. But if you just let those cards inside and hide 4 other cards, here, you can show Ace, Queen, 2, hide the 3, 4, 9, 5, hide the 6, 7, 3, 8, hide the 9, 10, 6, Jack, hide the Queen, and King. So by hiding 4 cards or 4 other cards, you can have those 2 sequences, and you see 13 unique spades. Now, let me show you how you can hide those cards or the other 4 cards to reveal the sequence or mixed order. So in this deck you have 56 cards. When you spread them, you will feel that the spades are sticking together, and this is normal, and I will show how to spread them to separate and why they are acting like that. Also, our cards, depending the way you spread them, show a shuffle deck or in order deck, are marked on the back. So I can show you here, marked there on top. Here you can see a 56, then 55, then 54, up to our first card, that is number 1, you see? And our second card in our sequence, the Queen, is number 2. And that number is important because that's the correct order to perform the trick. And also it will give you the correct orientation, as some of our coating or sticky glue is on one side only. By having all the numbers on top, you will know that the deck is correctly oriented. So let me show you how with those 17 cards you can show mixed 13 spades with no duplicates. We created the sequence so it's easy to remember. So once the cards are in order, that means from 1 to 17, with the orientation on the top when you are watching the card. Turn the card face up, and the first card is a sticky card. That means that you have the sticky glue here, like this, behind that, and you want to unstick those 2 cards. So to unstick them as you show them, you are going to push with your thumb and rotate. So rotate like this, and that will unstick with no sound. So you unstick those 2 cards, so that's a single, a single. Now you need to deal a double card. That could be difficult, but not anymore because of our special coating. Because behind the 2, we have our special coating, like this. And if you put pressure on the 2, the next card, in that example, the 3, will stay with him, and you will be able to deal a double card without any difficulties. And that's always the sequence. A single and a single you have to unstick, and a double you have to deal, to grab, just by putting pressure as you push on it. So, unstick to get a single, I have a single, and I put pressure to deal my double. Again, I unstick to get my single, I have the other single, and I put pressure to deal my double. And again, I unstick by pushing and rotating to deal my single, I push my single, and I push a double, and I end up with the last and single one. Let's do it again. I unstick, single, single, push, double. I unstick, single, single, double. I unstick, single, single, double. Unstick, single, single, double, and end up with a single. It's important as you are separating the stuck card to not put pressure on the bottom where the glue is. So that's why I'm pushing only on the top part. The card that stay together because of our special coating, you can push wherever you want, unless on the bottom right corner. And by doing that, you can show a mixed sequence of spades. Now, if I want to show that exact same sequence in order without mixing the card, it's possible because of the second handling. And the second handling is even easier. You square the cards. Now you're going to push on the bottom of the cards to stick the sticky glue behind the 4 cards with the sticky glue. So you just push and place those cards in the hand of the spectator. And now you are going to grab the card from the bottom right corner. So the first card will be a stuck card. So do not put pressure too much on it because you don't want the card to separate. So a very light grab. And you can see you have 2 cards because after you reveal a 2. So once you just grab the card, you will feel it's a double card and you see the 2. So that proves that you have the double. And once you have it, I usually turn it like that. Now, the 2 has our special coating on the bottom. So to be able to grab it without having the 3 that stay with him because of the coating, we are going to grab it from the bottom corner. So now you put pressure on it a little bit and you just rub like this and only 1 card will come. Now you can do the same with the 3, but the 3 is not sticking to anything. And that's the sequence for the 3 cards. And it's always the same sequence. So you have a double stuck card you should handle with care and no pressure. A single special coated card you should separate by putting a little bit of pressure. And a single card that is not stuck to anything. So double, single, single, double, single, single, and the last one, the single. Let's do it again. So I push on the bottom, place it in the hand. Now I come on the bottom corner, really slightly take the cards. It's a double. Now I take a single by putting pressure. And I take a single. Double, single, single, double, single, single, double. And when you handle the double, even if when you place it on the table, do not put pressure on it because you don't want them to separate. Single, single, and the last one, the single. And that's how you show the same cards, the same set of cards in complete order. So let's talk about the non-spades cards, and let me show you how you can produce a sequence mixed or in order. So first, you need your cards to be in the correct orientation and in correct order. For that, you need, of course, your card with the correct numbers from, of course, 18 up to 56. Okay? And that in your hand must be on the top. Now from the face, if you spread the cards and you have the art in the correct orientation for yourself, and if you spread the cards, you have the cards in order. But if you just turn the card and you have the art upside down. That means that you are in a mixed chaos order. So also, because not all the cards are half and half, all the cards that have a full face, we cut them and make them short to use that Svengali principle. That means that if you dribble the cards, you can show full faces like that. If you don't know how to dribble, you can just refold them like this. Just be sure, because the 3 cards behind the ace are gimmicked cards, so be sure when you come to the end of the deck, when you have only a few cards remaining, that drop everything. Same if you refold like this, just like this. And if you want to learn how to dribble, it's not difficult, but you need some practice. You grab the cards like this, some fingers, index finger on top, you put pressure, and your thumb is going to refold up. Like you would do with a book. Just a quick note, if you are left-handed, yes, I'm thinking of you. The little mnemonic thing about the heart in the correct orientation, showing order and chaos, it's just reverse. So if you're left-handed, the upside-down heart will show order, and the regular heart orientation will show chaos. That's it. Let's talk about the setup. So, your cards are in our chaos order. That means our order we have with the numbers from 1 to 56, and that's about like that. We need to lose those spades in the other cards, because you are going to pretend to look for them. So to do that, you just place the spades aside and you spread the cards, but you rotate them to have a mixed deck of cards. So if you're right-handed, you turn them. If you're left-handed, you just spread them the normal way to get that mixed spread. Now, your 17 cards, we are going to break them into 8 groups of double cards and a single card. And that's really easy to do because our card like to stay together because of the sticky glue or because of our special coating. So we just take the 2 first cards, they usually stay together because of the sticky glue behind the ace of spades, and we place them just before the 5, in between the queen of clubs and the 5. That means 5th from the top of the deck. Now we take the 2 next cards, they stay together if you put pressure on them because of our special coating, the 2 and the 3 of spades, and we place them 2 or 3 cards after. And we do again the same with the 2 next cards that stay together because of the sticky cards, they are stuck together here. And the 2 next cards with the special coating, and the 2 next stuck card. And special coated card. 2 or 3 cards, it's not really important. The 10 and the 6 stuck together with our sticky glue. Jack and Queen that stay together because of our special coating, and our single King of Spades. Now the setup is done, let's go into the routine. Now let's talk about the performance. So you start with your deck, we just place the spades, but before looking for the spades, we need to stick the sticky card together. To be sure they are stuck together, we are going to push on the bottom of the cards. So if you are right-handed, your art is upside down. If you are left-handed, your art is in the correct orientation. But anyway, you just push on the bottom. So we are sure the card will stay together. Now I'm going to push a few cards. Try to not push them too much because you will flash the half and half cards. And when you see the spade, you just outjogged it. And once you outjogged it, because you don't want to flash the double thickness, and also you don't want to flash that the next card will be a 2, because the next card when you will show the spades will not be a 2 but will be the queen hidden there. So once the ace is outjogged, you just instantly tilt the deck face up and go for the 2 and outjog the 2. So let me show you what's going on. I outjog the 2, I push 3 cards, I outjog the 4, and it's very easy because you play the cards with 3 cards in between, so you don't really need to look for them. You can feel, but you don't really need to look for them. And just maintain pressure because every other card is not stuck, but stay together because of the pressure, because of our special coating. So keep some pressure on the cards. And you end up with our single king of spades. So I'm like this. I just grab the cards, separate them from the deck, place the deck aside, and I'm going to show the spades. So as you have seen in the video, I separate the spades flat, but in real performances with people, I mean none for video, I usually turn my back and show them from behind. So let me show you how I do it. And I do that to avoid the thickness problem. So I push, so remember the sequence is single, single, double. So every first single I have to unstick them. So I just push here in a rotating motion that unstick the card, single, single, and I put slight pressure on our double. Single, single, double, single, single, double, single, single, double. Once you have done it once, you can like spread more easily like that. Okay? Now I come back like this, square the cards. I'm going to stick the card together again by pushing on the bottom under the spade. And I justify that move asking the spectator to place his hand. So I'm just showing the position. Place the card in their hand, snap my fingers, and now I reveal the cards in order, doing the same way we did before. That means grabbing the card from the bottom left corner. And so double, single, single. So double, a very light grip, and I turn them like this, upside down, so the glued part is toward themselves, toward the spectator. Now single, so I just put pressure, single, single, double, single, single, double, single, single, double, single, single, and the last, the single. Now I'm done with the spades. I grab the cards. They are mixed. You just turn them face down, tilt the deck, spread the deck, fan the deck like this, so they can see. Try to not push too much the cards. Keep a tight spread because you don't want to flash, of course. Now you square the cards, place them face up without changing the orientation. Snap your finger and now you're going to show regular cards. And you do that using our Svengali principle by riffling. So you riffle the cards. Remember to not dribble the cards as the last hearts, because you don't want to flash. So you dribble the cards or you riffle the cards, whatever you like. And then you spread the cards, so that will convince the people that all the cards are normal. And keep a tight spread to avoid flashing those half and half cards. And if you do all that, that's performance of Chaos, and they should love you. I hope. J'espère. Now for the tips, because we have a couple of cool tips. First, when you start a trick, before going through looking for the spades, maybe you want to shuffle the cards to look more impromptu. You cannot shuffle the cards. You can fake shuffle the cards. You can do a false shuffles, but because of the sticky cards, it's a little tricky, and it really depends on the false shuffle you will use. So I'll show you one, very easy. You just turn the card like this, you grab a couple of cards like that, and you place that over it. And you do it again at a random place. So what I'm doing here, I'm just cutting the cards over and over and over, but I'm not shuffling the cards. If you want to add more realism on it, before putting that, you can just do a little fake move like that. You can do two fake moves. And, oops. So that's fake shuffle, that's cutting the cards. The only problem is that I cannot show here without being sure it's a full card and not a gimmicked card. So what I do, I just turn that towards myself. If I'm on a full card, I just show it. If I'm not, if I'm on a gimmicked card, I will look for my ace of hearts. My ace of hearts here, and cut to my ace of hearts. And I'm ready now to perform. So that's tip number one. Tip number two. When you spread the cards like this to show the audience, so that's at the end of the trick, when the spades came back in order and you want to do the effect with the remaining cards, it is possible here to have a more free display, to separate the cards like that. And of course, I'm separating the cards only on the regular cards and not on the gimmicked cards. And I'm able to do that because I have marked the cards on the bottom. And the easiest way to do that is to mark on the top corner. So here I scratch, but the easiest way is to place a red marker dot, a red Sharpie dot on the face of the little girl here. And you will be easily see it and be able to separate on it. And of course, you marked all the regular card, so that's the card you can grab. So when I'm watching the back, I know that every marked card I can grab them, and I have to grab them. If I separate and the last card here is not a marked one, I will flash. So that's tip number two. Tip number three. When you spread the cards to show the spades that are not in order, sometimes it's a little difficult when you unstick the card to slide it, because the sticky glue is sliding toward the regular card, so it sticks here and you have trouble to move it. To avoid that, once you unstick a little bit, when you see the pip of the index of the next card, your right fingers can grab that part and just do a wrist action rotation to separate the back of the fold, the glue, from the next card. Of course, it's really subtle. So the first one you don't really need it because you are doing it naturally, but it happens single, single, double. Now, so I'm just pushing it, grabbing it, and so instead of pushing it and sliding it on the next one, I'm pushing it a little bit and separating it like that. Do it again, pushing. Once more. So it gives you a really natural motion. And if you had trouble to do it once, you can do it a second time, because you just separate the stuck card. It's much more easier to spread after that. So that was tip number 3. Tip number 4, if you don't want to place the card in their hand because they have dirty hands or because you don't trust them, you can do the trick with your own hands. You can text Blake about that. So you just do the sequence where you show the card like this. Now you square the cards and you rotate them like that. Snap your fingers, and at the same time you snap your fingers, you're going to push on the top center to stick the cards together. And now you place them face up like that. And because we did 2 different changing of orientation, now you can push the cards from that top left corner, double, single, single, and if you keep your thumb on the index, you will be easily separate the 2 cards that are supposed to be stuck when you push them from the center because of our special coating. But from the little side, that's fine. Double, single, single, double, single, single, double, single, single, double. Tip number 5. It's not really a tip, but it's a reset. Well, the reset is not difficult because the cards are never mixed. Whatever handling you will do after, you just need to place the spades over the other card. You just need to check the correct orientation, looking at the numbers, and your deck is reset. That was for the tips. Thank you. Merci. So the inspiration comes from a trick from Anthony Owen named Ultimate Oil and Water. And at that time, my friend Sebastian Claire was doing it all over. And it was in 2001. And I saw that, and I was fooled, and he Sebastian teach me how it worked. And I liked the last sequence of it, that is Sebastian Claire sequence, where you place the cards and you just spread them and the cards separate. And I wanted to have that feeling on a much longer sequence. So I started working on it, on the principle and on the method. And by modifying a little the principle, I created in August 2001 a version of sympathetic cards, popularized by Derek Dingle, created by Herbert Milton, where the cards are in order on one side. In another glass you have the spades that are mixed, and the spades in order change to match the mixed order. And I loved that effect, and I was really happy with my version. But I was still looking for something without the glasses. and I created a version with only 13 spades mixed on a mat, and I was just spreading them. So I was dealing them one by one. They were mixed, and I was spreading them, and they were in order. But that was really difficult to do. It was not working perfectly every time, so I just stayed on my glass version that was more theatrical. When we decided to release it, I reworked on the glasses, and we tried to remove the glass to have something more user-friendly. Merci. User-friendly. And by doing that, I rework on the principle. We work on the sequence of the spades. Which card must be a duplicate, which card must not. And I realized that I could remove the glass, but also I could do what I wanted first. That means from a mixed order, go back to the original order. And after that, because I have some cards left, I say maybe I can do it with the cards, and I use a couple of principles I had in other tricks I created, and I just combine them to get our ending with our deck of cards. So that basic idea comes from 2001, but I have reworked it for multiple reasons, and you have the final product. I hope you will like it. It's really one of my favorite tricks. It was really difficult to end up with something that is really simple. I understand it looks difficult when you watch the video, but it's really not when you know where to spread and the single, double sequence. So just try it a couple of times and forget about how it works. Just concentrate on what you have to do, and it will work flawless without thinking. Thank you. See you soon, I hope. Merci. Au revoir. À bientôt. Bye bye.